Live Chat English. Real conversations, real English.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Life Chat English, your favorite place to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Sam. Hey, Chloe, before we start, I have a little question for you. Are you ready?
Ooh, a question. Okay, I'm ready. Go for it.
What did you do yesterday?
Oh, that is such a perfect question for today. Let me think. Yesterday, I woke up early. I went for a walk in the park, and then I met my friend Lisa for lunch. Oh, and I watched a really good movie in the evening.
See what you did there, Chloe? You just used the past tense like a pro. 4 different verbs in one breath.
And that, listeners, is exactly our topic today. How to talk about your yesterday in English.
Right, because here's the thing. If you can describe what you did yesterday, you can have a real conversation with almost anyone. Your coworker, your neighbor, a new friend at a party. They're all going to ask you, hey, how was your weekend? Or what did you get up to last night?
And you need to be ready, So today we're going to walk through everything you need. We'll start with the difference between present tense and past tense. Then we'll look at regular and irregular verbs. And after that tricky ED pronunciation. And of course, at the end, how to ask questions and make negatives.
Sounds like a lot, but don't worry. We'll take it one small step at a time. By the end, you'll have a simple, clear plan for talking about yesterday.
Let's jump in. Okay, Sam, let's start with something really basic. What is the difference between present tense and past tense, like in real life, not in a textbook?
Great question. So present tense is for things that are happening now, or things that happen generally, like your routines.
For example, I drink coffee every morning.
Yep, that's a routine. It's not about today specifically, it's just a general fact about Chloe. She drinks coffee, always, forever.
Forever, yes. And past tense is for things that already happened, things that are finished, done, complete.
Right, so if I say, yesterday I drank 3 cups of coffee, that's past tense. The action is over. The coffee is gone.
Gone forever, sad.
Here's a simple way to picture it. Present tense lives in now or always. Past tense lives in before.
I love that. And one little trick, listeners. There are certain words that almost always tell you someone is talking about the past. They're called signal words, or sometimes time markers.
Oh yes, like yesterday, last night, last week, 2 days ago, this morning, if this morning is already over.
Exactly. So when you hear those words, your brain should immediately think, okay, past tense is coming.
And when you want to talk about yesterday, you start by asking yourself one question. Is this action finished? Yes? Then past tense.
Simple, right?
Simple. But here's where it gets a little tricky. Because in English, to show that something happened in the past, we have to change the verb itself.
And that is where our next part comes in.
Okay, so in English, most verbs follow a very kind, very friendly rule. We call them regular verbs.
And the rule is beautifully simple. Just add ed to the end of the verb. That's it.
Ready for some examples? Let's go.
Walk becomes walked. Talk becomes talked. Watch becomes watched.
Cook becomes cooked. Clean becomes cleaned. Listen becomes listened.
So if yesterday you cleaned your house, you can say, I cleaned my house yesterday. Simple.
Easy. And one small note, if the verb already ends in the letter E, like dance or live, you just add D. So we get danced and lived.
And if the verb ends in a Y after a consonant, like study, you change the Y to I and then add ed. Study becomes studied.
Try becomes tried. Cry becomes cried. A small spelling change, but the same basic idea.
Okay, Sam,
give me a mini story using only regular verbs.
Okay. Yesterday, I worked from home. I answered a lot of emails, I cooked pasta for lunch, and I walked to the park in the afternoon.
Beautiful. 4 regular verbs: worked, answered, cooked, walked. Notice how all of them just got that nice little ed at the end.
If only all English verbs were this polite.
Uh-oh, I feel a but coming.
Yeah, here comes the but, because some verbs in English are, well, a little rebellious. So irregular verbs are verbs that do not follow the ed rule. They change in their own unique way.
And here's the honest truth, listeners. You just have to memorize them. There's no shortcut. I'm sorry.
But don't panic. Today, we're going to give you just 5 of the most important irregular verbs, the ones you will use literally every single day.
Ready? Here we go. Number 1, go. In the past, go becomes went.
So not goed, right? Never say goed. Say went. I went to the gym yesterday.
Number 2, eat.
Eat becomes ate.
I ate breakfast at 8 o'clock this morning. Good breakfast, Chloe?
Very good. Number 3, see. See becomes saw.
I saw my sister yesterday. Notice it's not seed, it's saw. Sounds a bit like the tool, a saw.
Number 4, have. Have becomes had.
I had a long day, super common. You will use had all the time. I had lunch, I had a meeting, I had fun.
And number 5, do. Do becomes did.
I did my laundry yesterday. Remember did, it's going to come back later in this episode, I promise.
So there you go, 5 of the most common irregular verbs. Went, ate, saw, had, did.
And here's the thing. English has about 200 irregular verbs, but honestly, most of them aren't that scary. You probably know a lot of them already without even realizing it.
Right, like sleep becomes slept. Drink becomes drank. Write becomes wrote. Read stays read. Just the pronunciation changes.
Yeah, English is a little weird sometimes.
So our tip to you, don't try to memorize all 200 verbs in one night. Please don't. Keep a little notebook instead. Every time you hear a new irregular verb, write down the present and the past form together. Like go/went, eat/ate.
Little by little, they stick. That is how every learner does it. Keep exploring them yourself. You'll be surprised how fast they add up.
And the more you read and listen, the faster they become automatic. Okay, Sam, now we have to talk about something that almost no textbook teaches properly. And it's really important.
Ooh, a secret. I love secrets.
The secret of ED pronunciation.
Oh, this is a good one. Because everyone writes ED, but did you know it's not always pronounced the same way?
So the ED ending actually has 3 different sounds. 3. Let me repeat that. 3 different sounds.
And I promise, once you learn this, your English will instantly sound much more natural.
Sound number 1 is a T sound, like the letter T. So the word walked, we don't say walk-ed with 2 syllables. We say walked, like the letter T at the end. Walked. Let's try a few. Repeat after us, listeners. Walked, talked, watched, asked, kissed.
All with a T sound. Walked, talked, watched, asked, kissed.
Sound number 2 is a D sound, a softer, buzzier sound.
So the word played, we say played, not played. Played.
Try these. Played, cleaned, listened, smiled, opened.
Played, cleaned, listened, smiled, opened.
And sound number 3, this one is different. It actually adds an extra syllable to the word.
It's the id sound, like id.
And this one only happens when the verb already ends in a t or d sound. Because, think about it, if I tried to say want to, my tongue would get completely stuck.
So we add the id sound to make it easier to say.
Try these with me. Wanted, needed, started, ended, visited.
Wanted, needed, started, ended, visited.
Listeners, please don't stress about memorizing which is which. Your mouth will learn it naturally as you practice.
But just knowing there are 3 sounds, that alone is a huge step forward.
Quick summary. After a voiceless sound like k, s, or ch, it's a t sound. After a voiced sound like b, l, or n, it's a d sound. And after t or d, it's id, an extra syllable.
Or even simpler, just listen to native speakers a lot. Podcasts, movies, and yes, this show. Your ears will pick it up.
The more you listen, the more natural it becomes. Trust your ears. Okay, so now you can make past tense sentences. Great. But what if you want to ask somebody about their yesterday?
Or what if something didn't happen? That's a negative sentence.
Good news. English has a little helper word that does all the work for you, and it's our friend from before.
Did. Yes, did is back. Told you.
So to ask a question in the past tense, we use the formula did plus person plus base verb.
And here's the super important part. After did, the verb goes back to its normal base form. You do not use the past form.
Let me say that again, because it is the number one mistake we hear. After did, use the base verb, not the past form.
So we say, did you go to the gym? We do not say, did you went to the gym?
Did you eat breakfast? Not did you ate breakfast.
Did she watch the movie? Not did she watched the movie.
The reason is actually really simple. Did is already showing the past. So the main verb can relax and just be itself.
Exactly. One past is enough. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Did you have a good day?
Did you have a good day?
Did you see my message?
Did you see my message?
Did you do anything fun?
Did you do anything fun? Perfect. Very useful question.
Okay, now for negatives. When something did not happen, we use did not, or more commonly, the contraction didn't.
And again, same rule. After didn't, use the base form of the verb.
I didn't go to the party, not I didn't went.
She didn't eat lunch, not she didn't ate.
We didn't have time, not we didn't had.
Beautiful. So let's do a little role play to bring it all together. Sam, pretend you're meeting me in the morning at work. Ask me about yesterday.
Okay. Hi, Chloe. Good morning. Did you have a nice evening yesterday?
Hi, Sam. Yeah, it was really nice. I went home, I cooked dinner, and I watched a new show. How about you?
Oh, I didn't do much. I just read a book and went to bed early. Did you finish that big report?
No, I didn't finish it. I started it, but I got too tired.
That happens. Did you at least remember to eat something?
Yes, Sam, I ate. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Look at what just happened, listeners. That entire conversation was in the past tense.
And nothing fancy. Just simple verbs. Present plus ed for regular verbs, the memorized form for irregulars, and did or didn't for questions and negatives.
That right there is about 80% of how people talk about their yesterday in English. Just those 3 tools.
You already have them. Now you just need to use them. Okay, big episode. Before we let you go, let's do our favorite part, the word tour. We'll go back over the key words and ideas so they really stick in your mind.
Deep breath, everybody. Here we go.
Let's start with the big one, past tense.
Past tense is the verb form we use to talk about actions that already happened and are finished.
For example, I used past tense when I told my friend about my weekend.
Or English past tense can feel tricky at first, but it gets easier with practice. Repeat, past tense.
Past tense. Next, regular verb.
A regular verb is a verb that follows the normal rule. You just add ed to make the past tense.
For example, walk is a regular verb because it simply becomes walked.
Or regular verbs are the easy ones. Most verbs in English are actually regular. Repeat, regular verb.
Regular verb. Now the opposite, irregular verb.
An irregular verb is a verb that does not follow the ed rule and has its own unique past form.
For example, go is an irregular verb because it becomes went, not goed.
Or you need to memorize irregular verbs one by one. But don't worry, they come slowly. Repeat, irregular verb.
Irregular verb. Next is a grammar word, base form.
A base form is the original simple shape of a verb, with no endings added to it.
For example, after did, always use the base form of the verb.
Or eat is the base form, and ate is the past form. Repeat, base form.
Base form. Now a really useful everyday word, routine.
A routine is a regular way of doing things. Something you do often, usually at the same time each day.
For example, drinking coffee every morning is part of my routine.
Or when I talk about my routine, I use present tense, not past tense. Repeat, routine.
Routine. Next, memorize.
To memorize something means to learn it by heart, so you can remember it later without looking.
For example, try to memorize a few irregular verbs every week.
Or don't try to memorize 200 verbs in one night. It won't work. Repeat, memorize.
Memorize. Now a fun one, pronunciation.
Pronunciation is the way a word sounds when you say it out loud.
For example, the pronunciation of ed changes depending on the verb.
Or good pronunciation makes you sound much more natural in English. Repeat, pronunciation.
Pronunciation. Next is signal word.
A signal word is a little word or phrase that gives you a clue about which tense to use.
For example, yesterday is a signal word that tells you to use the past tense.
Or ago, last night, and this morning are all common signal words for the past. Repeat, signal word.
Signal word. And our final one for today, contraction.
A contraction is a short form of two words joined together, like did not becoming didn't.
For example, in real conversation, we almost always use the contraction didn't instead of did not.
Or contractions make your English sound much more casual and natural. Repeat, contraction.
Contraction. Those were powerful words. And really, they're the building blocks of talking about your yesterday.
Use them, play with them, write your own example sentences in your notebook. That's how they become a real part of your English.
So, your challenge for today. In the comments below, tell us, what did you do yesterday? Write 2 or 3 sentences.
Try to use at least one regular verb, one irregular verb, and don't forget if you need a helper for a question or a negative, use our friend did.
And remember, mistakes are part of the journey. Every time you try, you get a little better. Small practice adds up.
It really does. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for learning with us today. If this helped you, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share with a friend who's learning English too.
We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep talking about your yesterdays. Bye, everyone.
See ya!
Thanks for listening to Life Chat English. If you enjoyed this, please like, share, and subscribe for more real-life English practice. See you in the next episode.